that is now raging on for the 19th day. But now there's a twist. Israel finds itself locked in a war of words with the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, who has condemned the loss of life in Gaza. Israel's representatives of the UN have gone to the extent of calling for Guterres to step down, saying he didn't do enough to condemn the Hamas terror attack. The Secretary General has made it clear he's not pro-Hamas, but that Palestinians cannot face collective punishment for what happened on October 7th. It's our top story.
Israel's war on Hamas has sparked a showdown at the United Nations, where a divided world is sparring over the bombardment of Gaza Strip that has killed and displaced thousands of civilians. The UN Security Council's first discussion on the war was overshadowed by a row triggered by comments made by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres that appeared to rationalize Hamas terror attacks on October 7th.
It is important to also recognize the attacks by Hamas did not happen in a vacuum. The Palestinian people have been subjected to 56 years of suffocating occupation.
Israel took grave offense to the UN Secretary General's statement, accusing him of tolerating and justifying a terror attack. An angry Israeli Foreign Minister, Eli Cohen, cancelled his meeting with Guterres, and the country demanded the Secretary General's resignation.
When you say those terrible words that these heinous attacks did not happen in a vacuum, you are tolerating terrorism. And by tolerating terrorism, you are justifying terrorism.
Antonio Guterres clarified his remark, saying that grievances of Palestinians do not justify Hamas attack, but added that the Hamas attacks cannot justify killings of Gazans either. The US firmly backed Israel's right to defend itself and called all acts of terrorism unlawful and unjustifiable, whether they are carried out by ISIS, Boko Haram, Lashkar-e-Taiba or by Hamas.
All acts of terrorism are unlawful and unjustifiable, whether they're carried out by ISIS, by Boko Haram, by Al-Shabaab, by Lashkar-e-Taiba, or by Hamas.
India urged all parties involved in the war to protect civilian lives.
We stood in solidarity with Israel at their moment of crisis when they were facing these terror attacks. Our heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims and prayers for speedy recovery of the injured. Civilian casualties in the ongoing conflict are a matter of serious and continuing concern. All parties must protect civilians, especially women and children.
A representative for Palestine called for an end to the war.
We are here today to stop the killing, to stop the massacres being committed against the Palestinian people. The ongoing massacres being deliberately and systematically and savagely perpetrated by Israel, the occupying power. It is our collective human duty to stop them.
The UN Security Council is deeply divided. While some countries are calling for a ceasefire, Israel has time and again asserted that the war will end only after Hamas is finished. Bureau Report, India Today.